and I don't know this, you said that the studies and information show that Somalian community, there really was no incidence of autism.
Right, they didn't even have a word for it in their language, and then they
In
come
Somalia,
here.
before they came to
Yeah,
America.
and then
Before
they
came
get
here.
our wonderful
Immigrant
healthcare, and now they have to
Yep.
figure out what this is.
I think I could add, I'm originally from Somalia and I lived in Minnesota about 23 years. My son died a year ago, and he had autism. And I find out, 18 months, as soon as he had the MRI shots, and he had a fever and, diarrhea, and the doctor said, he'll be okay. But we lived through, that process about, 13 years. And he finally died. But I will add, what you said. We never knew, what autism was when we got here. And a lot of doctors, are saying, oh, okay, this may be like a lack of vitamin D, but it's not. But it's not. But it is a shot. I looked, my son's, records. I found out, first year he had about 14 shots.
When before he was a year old?
I think, before first year, he had about, 14 shots. And then the following year, he had a same amount. And even when when we find out, he has autism, the doctors were recommending, more shots. And he lost, every skill. He lost, motor skill. He became like a brain dead. He was just a human being. We had a difficulty, carrying him about 13 years. I think the government expended, so much money for carrying him because we had a 12-hour, BCA care, and
How old is he when he died?
16. He was 16.
Sorry.
And and in terms of Somali Americans, it's the highest in Hennepin County because they don't know anything about shots. They trust the doctors. They think it's safe to have shots. That's why they had multiple shots, and then the kids get sick.
Yeah.
And also there was a couple of statistics or a couple of studies done through University of Minnesota. But I think, those studies are misleading. As you said, they only counted, kids that are under, certain age. They didn't count, every child. So I'm assuming, it's kind of like an epidemic, it's kind of like a crisis in Somali community because I know a lot of families who have 1 or 2 or 3, kids with autistic. And most of them, as University of Minnesota study confirmed they have like a brain damage. They are
100%.
Yeah, they're 100%. No verbal, nothing. No skills. They need 24-hour care, and they can't even sit. Properly or eat. Most of them. So this is like a huge problem for our community, and I think it's hidden. I don't think
What's your
Never
name?
reported.
What's your name, sir?
Abdiwali.
Okay, I'll ask the same question I asked the doctor. Are you having any success educating people in your community, in the Somali community? Is there any impact with educating them? And
We tried, we initiated some, nonprofit organizations, but always we get intimidated, the government, especially, Department of Health and other, like a CDC, they intimidate, the organization. They say, oh, you will get no funding, if you talk about this. And I think Patty, worked with us, a long time. She can add to it.
Yeah, one of the things that's actually been going on lately is, the intimidation of the Somali community has been going on for a long time. You know, they targeted them back when they had that small measles outbreak in 2011, and Commissioner of Health blatantly lied to people about the autism vaccine relationship and about the danger of the measles. But the Somali community has figured it out. They saw what happened to their own kids. They know what's going on. And the uptake of the MMR vaccine in Minnesota among the Somali community has been dropping by about 5% every year.
Say that again.
5% a year within the Somali community.
MMR.
Yep, they don't want that shot because that one they have seen the most damage from. So the Department of Health, instead of, you know, listening, studying, you know, really caring about the health of these kids and looking into this and investigating it, instead they have ramped up their attacks. They have been hiring outreach workers, as they call them, Somali people, to go out into the community and coerce people into vaccinating. Jerry and I attended a forum that they put on a few months ago, and it was just disgusting. I mean, absolutely disgusting.
Well, that's what I'm getting at here. Can I come back to this motivation? Is, you know, I know there's bad people in the world, and they'll do whatever they need to do to keep money in their pockets and whatnot. But you know, that's the odd thing. Are these people just uninformed, or are they just not willing to look at data? The government, you know, Department of Health, are they just unwilling to look at data? Or they just want money, or are they just believe that what they're doing is the right thing to do?
I think it's a bit of both. Because we are, the nurses that are coming forward, to be fair, are saying they had no idea, but then they're not getting financial gains from this. And we're seeing from the ones that are getting financial gains that they're the ones that they do know. They do know. How can you not know as a paediatrician? He knows. Why would all the other paediatricians not know? They know because we bring our babies back after the vaccines and we say, look, it doesn't talk anymore. The child doesn't eat anymore. Its stomach's growing this big, etc., etc. They know. So if a few can stand up and be honest, then the others should. Otherwise, I have to assume that there's a money issue here.
Ryan said,
I've got a question. I think I know the answer, but I guess I could direct it to the doctor here. Has the American Medical Association done anything to look into this area? Or are they burying their heads in the sand? Or are they just ignoring it totally?
As the phrase goes, the science is clear, so we don't need to ask the question anymore. Just like they said in 1940s when doctors recommending cigarettes were healthy. Yeah, why look at it? It's fine. We recommend it's okay, and then we realized it wasn't, and then we said, oh yeah, well we have new research. But they're not doing the research, and that's I think where we're stuck right now.
No, they basically shut down research after this.
After this law?
no, after the study,
After
the
study.
2004 study.
This is the definitive word,
And now we
we're
find
not.
out that they omitted the data that proved the link. And so they said they wouldn't fund anymore. This was it, we're done.
Okay, thank you.
And the Minnesota Medical Association position on last year's law, which was an attempt to make it harder for parents to get exemptions. The MMA position was Minnesota's vaccination law is among the weakest in the nation. To protect the health of all Minnesotans, the state should limit exemption from mandatory school vaccines to medical contraindications only. That's the California law.
They're attacking the medical exemptions. They're attacking homeschooling as well. They're taking away our options, forcing us into a corner, those who choose not to adhere to that schedule. Even for those who want to delay. You know, there's a doctor in Oregon, Paul Thomas, who has an alternative schedule where he delays all vaccines till after age 3. Thousands of new patients, no new rates of autism. You know, and I'm sure, sir, when you lived in Somalia, did you see any rates of autism in your community in Somalia before you came to America? No.
Never seen anything.
Did you know what it was?
No. Never heard of it. You know, we call American disease.
It's an American disease, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nickname.
So where would you like to sign it?
I don't know. Let's decide it, you know.
You're tall, you can get up higher.
I can't reach. 400.
4316.